Hey YouTube, just want to do a review on a couple things here. One, the Infinity Kappa 100.9 subwoofer, 10 inch, along with this Q-Logic, Q-Form, custom fit subwoofer box. Picked up particularly for a 2002 Honda Civic coupe. So I guess it would fit the generation, 2001 I believe to 2004, 2-door or 4-door. So it's geared particularly towards you guys in regards to the box. Subwoofer, just giving my opinion on it myself. So I'm going to start with the box just because I did have a couple issues. First being the mounting depth. Got this speaker, did my research online and looked at the depth of the box and was concerned, do I need to buy a compact, shallow subwoofer because it's a space-saving box, and found that it had an 8-inch depth on it and said, okay, cool, that pretty much I can get any box out or any sub out there. This Infinity caught my eye, started researching it more for the price. Ended up going with it, and it had about a 6.5 inch top mounting depth. So I said, okay, cool, I got about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches of clearance. Well, I dropped the sub in, and the right side of it was kicked up just a hair, and I thought I at least had a couple inches. I didn't know it was actually going to hit. Okay, what is it hitting? Is there something in there? Whatever. Pulled it out, and I saw the part of the magnet that was hitting the back of the box. If I can explain it good, I don't feel like taking apart the entire box just to show you, but it ended up working anyways. But if you can imagine, the clearance at 8 inches is directly behind the center of the cone. As you move to the right, kind of right in the middle of the cone itself, about right here, the magnet in the back there. The circumference of this magnet particularly is larger than I believe most 10s out there, and it ended up hitting the back of the box where it kind of molds to fit the curve of the inside of your trunk. So anyways, I started screwing it down, and it ended up sucking itself down perfectly. Thought it was going to crack the the plastic of the back of the box. It didn't. So got the good seal around the outside on the speaker side. So it wasn't really an issue. It almost was, but it was just particularly for this subwoofer. I was looking at a Kicker Comp VR dual voice coil 4 ohm sub, and that had about a 1/2 inch less on the mounting depth. So that would have cleared fine. Like a Alpine Type S, I believe, would have cleared just fine. So a lot of the subs were in the between 5 and 5.5 inch depth range. So just particularly with this subwoofer, it had that issue, but it ended up being a non-issue. So on to the next issue I came across with this box. It came with these mounting brackets. As I started getting them in here to secure, right there, a little bright, and there should have been one at the bottom here. Well, as I got these screwed in up top, got the bottom ones going, and it was either you're going to do the top or you're going to do the bottom, because basically I went with the top because the bottom just wasn't long enough. Messed with it for about 15 minutes. I said, okay, it's not just me. I think this thing just didn't have the proper length on it. So ended up eliminating it and just go ahead and dropping in a little screw right there, so it doesn't kick out, and resolve that issue. Yeah, it sucks that the bracket didn't fit, but whatever, it's fine. And then last of all, the trim piece that basically goes around it. I'll show you that, kind of just laying in the trunk right there, but that's the trim that basically goes around there and gives it the aesthetics that they sell you on with Q-Logic. But anyways, got it up there. I'm just gonna kind of throw it up, not exactly, but just so you guys can see, that's kind of how it was supposed to sit, and that's how it shows in the picture. Well, as I had it in there as tight as I could get it. I didn't get it, tight right now, but the main concern of anyone was, okay, is my trunk going to clear on that? Well, as you can hear right there, yeah, it's not all the way against it right now, but I had it in there as tight as I could get it, and it was hitting the box just a hair. You can see the little scuff marks. It just kept hitting every time, and I said, okay, I'm not going to deal with that, so I'm just going to go ahead and not have a trim piece on it. I like the look of the subwoofer anyways, so cool. I don't need that trim piece. I'm going to go ahead and throw a 10-inch grill on it, give it a little protection. I don't care about seeing the speaker wire terminals, whatever. It's in the trunk. All I want is bass. So those are the 3 minor issues I had with this box. It wasn't 100% exact form-fitting with all the trim pieces and the mounting hardware, but the actual box itself works just fine. The one mounting bracket worked. I mean, I'm sure I could go down to the hardware store and fab up my own or make something that works exactly like they intended. But anyways, don't expect it to be right out of the box perfect. Or you may get lucky and I just couldn't get it to fit in my trunk. Anyways, that's the issue with the box. It's still a perfect box. It sounds great. Has the volume that like any 10-inch needs, really. So the sound from the sub is great from this particular box. Happy with the purchase. So it's mostly the aesthetics, I guess, and the mounting wasn't exact like they stated. But onto the subwoofer. Why I bought this is reason being we had 2 10-inch kicker solo barracks in a ginormous MDF box with a Kenwood 1800 watt 2-channel amp sitting, taking up the entire front half of the trunk here. Well, me and my wife just had a baby 7 months ago now, and kid has a lot of stuff, and we didn't quite have that much room with those 2 subs in here. And on top of that, it's like, okay, do we really need to bump that hard with this kid anymore? I am a bass freak, when it comes to car audio, but as I'm getting older, I just like a clean bass sound, nothing too extravagant. But so I decided to pull those out and get something like this to still keep the bass in my car, but eliminate having this giant 100-pound box in here taking up half my trunk. So we're reclaiming our trunk. We can now put quite a bit in here. We can put stuff through the 60-40 split bench. If you have a Civic, I'm talking about it. Most cars have that now, but we can utilize our trunk again. It's functional. So did away with that, and yeah, I thought by not having 2 10s, and going to 110, I was going to be displeased with, the sound. Not true. This sub is, perfect. I love it. It sounds great. This 110 rivals, 12s out there. I'll back that, 100%. So anybody looking to pick up this sub, you'll not be disappointed. I am running it off of an Eclipse XA1000 mono amp. It's kind of just mocked up in the trunk right now. I just wanted to, test the sub, make sure everything was good and it sounded good. So I'm now going to throw that under the front seat, one of the front seats. I got another 4-channel I'm going to throw in there, get my highs crisp again, and I basically found that 4-channel amp, so I'm just going to use it. So anyways, yeah, the back of the car here doesn't have anything to mount an amp to. I didn't want to build an amp rack down in here and get all crazy, so in the back of the seats basically have like 3 bars that go across it, and then it's just foam underneath it, so there's nothing really to secure it to. So I'm just going to go old school and throw it under the front seat, and it'll be just fine. Not going to have any concerns with overheating. These newer style amps really don't overheat. I mean, you got to be in Death Valley and windows up with your heaters on, I think, and cranking, you know, maximum levels on everything to get an amp to overheat nowadays. But ventilation is going to be fine, not concerned with that. But I digress. The subwoofer is awesome. Get it if you're hesitant on it, but you really want it. Pick it up. You're not going to be disappointed. It's a great sub. So I'm not going to do a bumping session as I've seen many people do on YouTube. It's never going to reproduce over a little camera mic or a cell phone camera mic or even a high-end video camera mic. So not going to waste my time or your time with showing you that my subwoofer can move in and out, because that's about all those people are showing me when I look up subwoofer reviews. So anyways, that's my review on both the Infinity 100.9 10-inch Kappa. Oh yeah, last little bit, I get the Kappa does have that selective impedance switch on here, which was kind of cool. It's kind of why I went with it too. It was the gimmick that caught me, I'll be honest, but it is kind of cool of Infinity to develop that with, you know, selecting between 2 and 4 ohm and not having to worry about, okay, do I got to wire this in series? Do I got to wire it in parallel? How do I do that? Oh my gosh, you know, some people completely freak out. They eliminated that by just putting a switch on there. Boom, 2 ohm or 4 ohm. What do you want? You know, and if you do a little research, you can find out how you're supposed to wire it. Beyond that, it also gives you the capability of expanding. You know, if you want to get 1, 2, 3, 4 subwoofers later on down the road. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, Infinity, made by Harman. It's going to be a good product, regardless the gimmicks. Anyways, if you have comments, questions, hate mail, whatever, throw it up there. Let me know what's up, and thanks for watching. See ya.